Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripa Tadham Bande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Pramananda Madhvam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanto Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Ashat Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanando Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Panchtatvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktyagam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama राम राम हरे 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 नाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य ही दिवांग प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय संबल भक्तवृंद की जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंद हरि बोल Hare Krishna. So today we are going to recap because we talked so many important concepts. I want to make sure that, and we'll have some discussion. I want to make sure that you all understand some of these technical terms and their technical definition. And then we'll try to see the definition of Prema Bhakti. So what we have remaining so far in Nectar of Devotion is that after recap, we'll see what is definition of Prema Bhakti, which is ultimate goal. And then what are the characteristics of Prema Bhakti and how to achieve Prema Bhakti, and then evolution to Prema Bhakti. So these are some of the points we have to go through. But I think tomorrow, next Saturday will be our official last class. That I'll be giving a class, and then after that, you all can start giving your classes, and then the exams. So let me know at any point of time if you are not able to hear me. So moving to the next slide, we talked about Vadi Bhakti. So we saw the definition of the Shamanya Bhakti, Anyavilasita Swanyam, Gyan Karmadya Navritam, Anukulenu Krishnanu, Bhakti Anusilanam. So that's the Shamanya Bhakti. We are not talking about puja. Okay. So it depends how you are perceiving it. When you are hearing this word, how deep it's going in your consciousness. But the bhakti itself, the Samanya Bhakti itself starts Annavilasita Sunyam Gyan Karmadhyana Avritam. That's from there bhakti starts.
Freezing.
We could not hear you.
You can hear?
No.
It's just freezing, Prabhu.
What is that?
It's freezing.
Yeah, I
when it
said
comes
that's why
after
I
freezing.
asked, because on my screen it was saying that your internet is unable to connect. So it's doing any good? If not, then I'll turn my video.
No
Is it any
problem.
Now,
So
we could hear, but
we,
yeah.
yeah, we are able to hear you, but you're breaking in betweens. We are not able
okay?
to hear the complete sentences.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said on my screen also that your screen, your internet is. Recently, we had some internet changes. The router is in the basement now. I had upstairs, so we have a fiber optics. So we moved to the spectrum to AT&T, and I think since then I'm seeing some issues. I might have to go back. So right now it's okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Right now it's okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So Vadi Bhakti, we saw the definition of the Samanya Bhakti. After Samanya Bhakti, we started talking about Vadi Bhaktis. And in fact, Sadhana Bhakti, and Sadhana has Vadi Bhakti as a major component. So Vadi Bhakti, we saw so much information on that 64 limbs of sadhana bhakti, of the Vadi bhakti, and then after that we started talking about ragatmika bhakti. So out of 64 limbs, we also talked about the 5 potent limbs, and we'll have some more recap later. So after talking about Vadi Bhakti, Sadhana Bhakti has two component, Vadi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. So Raganuga Bhakti is also part of the Sadhana Bhakti. And what happens is that if we have perfectly done our Vadi Bhakti, then over the course of time, we don't have to force ourselves to take any services, devotional service. We are not talking about worship. Bhakti is different than worship. Uh, Bhakti is more of a emotional exchange. So the purification of the emotional relationship happens through the Vadi process. And then over the course of time, devotee come to this stage of Ragatmika Bhakti, where now love for Krishna is spontaneous. It's not depending on any if and buts. Rather, it has become your uh, your nature, right? All I want is that I'm in love. I'm in love, uh, Krishna. So this is again at that stage when you are in a natural relationship with Krishna. At that stage, how you will feel? Do you have taste for anything else? Answer is no. Anything that is not related to Krishna, devotee has no taste for it. So if there is no taste for anything else, is it bad? No, it's not bad. It's very advanced stage, ragatmika stage, where you have basically withdrawn your taste with anything else, and you have very much intensified your attraction only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Ragatmika Bhakti, the example is that uh, all the gopis are the example, gopis and gopas, they are the example of doing the Ragatmika Bhakti. And the goal of Ragatmika, the goal of Bhati Bhakti is to intensify one's consciousness towards Krishna so that one would always serve Krishna. So gopis now, do they have to chant 16 rounds? Do they have to do the deity worship or anything like that? No, because uh, even they don't do it, they are always in remembrance of Krishna. They are not going to forget Krishna. So Ragatmika Bhakti has two parts, Kamanuga Bhakti and Shambandh Anuga Bhakti. So now I might have talked to you, when you see this word Kama, this Kama is not the lust. Lust is a product of mode of energy, the mode that exists, the mode of, guna that is existing. Lust is product of that. But this calm, anuga, this kama is not the product of goodness or passion or ignorance. It's Shuddha Sattva. It's beyond. Okay. So nothing will manifest if there is no uh, uh, desire. Okay. In bhakti, we don't become shunyavad, nirvishesha, sunyavadi, pashatadesatarini. This is not the goal. So this karma, when you see, don't consider this karma is like the karma that we have or karma that ordinary people are. Our karma is basically outcome of the gunas. Okay, but this is pure, unalloyed, desire to please Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then there is different types of sambandha. And what is sambandha? Sambandha is vatsalya bhav. The Mother Yashoda is very powerful devotee, but she is serving as a mother. Madhurya bhav, all the gopis are acting or serving Krishna in that relationship. So this relationship is also very important. But now this relationship have really intensified. It has really, become very condensed. It has become to the, it has come to the condensed stage. So these are very advanced stages of bhakti, and example of Raganuga bhaktis are basically Brajvasi. And then by following Raganuga bhakti, after intensifying our emotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at due course of time, this Bhav Bhakti awakens. So Bhav Bhakti has Swarup Lakshana, and then it has Tatastha Lakshana, Gauna Lakshana, and Mukhya Lakshana. And what is Mukhya Lakshana? We talked about that. Shuddh Shattva Vishesh Atma and Prema Suryamshu Shamya Bhak. So these are the two symptoms of Sharup Shakti or of Sharup Lakshana. So Shuddh Shattva Vishesh Atma. When a soul has come to the stage of, when soul has come to the stage of Shuddh Shattva. Shuddh Shattva, we know that Shattva is goodness. So soul has come to the stage of Shuddh Sattva. And what is the meaning of the Shuddh Sattva Visheshatma? Because Krishna has external energy, Krishna has internal energy, and living being is marginal, Tatastha Sakti. So internal energy has Samvit, Shandhini, and Hladini potency. Samvit, Sandhini, and Hladini potency. Samvit is basically Gyan Shakti, and Sandhini is Kriya Shakti, and Hladini is basically blissing, the bliss that we get, Prema Shakti. So when this is very important concept again, very important point. If you can really get these things right, it's very important. So when we become Shuddha Shattva Vishesh Atma, at that stage, soul is exposed to understand the Shamvit and Hladani Shakti, the Gyan and Bliss Shakti, which is internal Shakti of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Soul is exposed to realize that Shakti. Right now, in our degree of consciousness, we are very much entrapped by Maya Shakti. So Maya Shakti is conducted by Triguna, by three gunas. And we are blend of these gunas, goodness, passion, ignorance. Sometimes goodness is prominent, sometimes passion is prominent, sometimes ignorance is prominent. We haven't come to the stage of stability. Okay, so once we cross and come to the stage of Shuddh Sattva in mode of goodness, and we have a stable pattern of behavior. nothing is going to impact. You are very much settled in the mood that is beneficial to aspire your condensed love for Krishna. So stay in Shuddha Sattva for a long time. Then after Shuddha Sattva, soul is exposed to the internal energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, and this is not easy to come out of this Shuddha Sattva. All the Vedas. What the purpose of the Veda? The teaching of the Veda is that it helps one cross these three modes of material nature. So Shuddha Sattva Vishesh Atma, the soul become Shuddha Sattva when he is exposed, when the soul realize this two Shakti, Samvit and Ladini Shakti. And at that stage, Prema Suryamsu Samya Bhag, the soul start receiving a soothing sun ray of Prema. In the morning time, you'll see the sun ray that's coming is very soothing. It's not complete sun. The intensity of the light is not there, but the appearance has started. So at bhava stage, that's what devotee has now basically started realizing the prema, pure unalloyed devotion for Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these two are mukhya lakshana. And what is tatastha lakshana? Secondary symptom, ruchi vis chit masrinya. Bhava, when bhava has awakened, then heart becomes soft. Softening, but not complete soft. The softening process has begun. Okay, and what is softening process? The softening process is that now the living being is not seeing the dosh. The living being has no other desire than desire of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The living being is not eluded by the disturbance and distraction that material energy is exposing to. Completely, fully taken the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can express some of these things in theoretical way, but also and I make sure that as we are talking, try to imagine, try to conceive, imagine how that stage is going to be in my life, where I am today, how that stage is going to be when I am not having all of these anarthas. And you will see a slide where I'll try to make a little bit more clear. So Ruchi is Chit Masrinya. Chit, the heart, basically, Masrinya softens. Okay, so uh, at Bhava stage, one's heart will be softened, and heart softening will develop attachment. And we talked about that in last to last class, seeing one of the verse from Bhagavatam. So, Krid Ashau Bhava Uchyate, that stage is called Bhav. Okay, so please remember some of these things. And what is the symptom? Okay, symptom is not that tears are coming from my eyes, or emotionally someone is being very kind of how to say, emotional, very attached, although one does not have that real bhava stage arising. So in the previous class we saw that bhava bhas. Okay, sometimes one might have a symptom, one might have a pratibimba, that, oh, I have received bhava, but real characters of having a pure bhava stage is these 9 steps. That's all. So these 9 are also, as I said, the real symptom of advancement in Krishna consciousness. If you want to see that I have really advance in Krishna consciousness, then we have to see if I have these qualities. We have to see. So Shanti, Avyarth Kalatvam, Virakti, Man Shunyata, Asha Bandha, Samutkantha, Nam Ganen Sadaruchi, Ashaktis Tad Gunakhyayane, Pritis Tad Vasati Asthale. So these 9 uh, quality we have to develop if we are advancing in the process of bhakti. So here is a very, very beautiful slide. And I would like all of you to get it. You know, I was just thinking this morning that I'm doing a great favor by talking some of these things. So you also try to take the benefit of it as much as you can. These are the things that normally we don't talk, but through this class we are talking and you are exposed to hear some of these things. This will basically give you a roadmap. That's all. If you get this correct, post it in your room as a calendar. That's what we have to do. What is our goal? Here is our hair. It's very nicely defined here. So I'll try to explain some of this. And then if you have any questions, we'll talk about it. So what happened is that, can somebody tell what are the stages of the bhakti? The 9 stages of the bhakti, can somebody tell all of those? I have it already here, but all you have to do is that add few more.
Start with the Vaidhi Bhakti.
Yeah, so what are the 9 stages of the bhakti? In the bhakti,
Okay.
like we have, you know.
Shraddha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. That one, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Please tell all the 9, as many as you can.
Okay. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti.
Thank you. Yes, perfect.
Ruchi, Bhava. I can't say the sequence.
Yeah, you know, that's good. Nishtha,
Nishtha, yeah.
then Ashakti, Bhava,
Ruchi
and
and
Prema.
Bhava, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see now here. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivriti, Nishtha, Ashakti, Bhava, Asakti, Ruchi, Bhava, and Prema. So what's happening is that Badhi Bhakti is basically the process by which we elevate our consciousness up to Anarth Nivriti. Okay, so as long as we are doing Anartha, we are still Badhi Sadhaka. Are you clear? I don't want to rush through it, just go through it. And so Anarth Nivriti, as long as Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivriti. Okay, these 4 stages. And most of the time, we are blend of these 4. We have some Shraddha, we are doing some Sadhu Sangha, we are, you know, chanting name of Krishna, and we are still trying to come out of our anarthas, seeing fault in the devotee, criticizing the devotee, fighting mentality, you know, right and wrong, seeing right and wrong. I'm better, you know, I'm this and that. All of that thing that's happening, this duality that happens, doesn't matter how we post ourselves, you know, that I have become this and that, whatever you say. But technically, we are still in the Badhi Bhakti stage. But when we cross Anartha Nivriti, then we are at the Nistha stage. Nistha is basically now we have completely come to the stage where we know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. And he is cause of all the Iswara Parama Krishna. Parameshwar is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shraddha Sabda Vishwasa Kahe Dridha Nishchaya. Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karya Siddhiyaya. So Sardha Shabd Vishwas, Dridh Nishchaya, a complete Nishchaya. What is that Nishchaya? Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karya Siddhiyaya. By taking devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all other activities are done. Vyavasayatmika buddha ekah kuru nandana. Bahusakhanantasya avyavasayo buddha. So coming to that stage where now we are rest assured, then at that stage, Raganuga manifest. So if you want to see on a ladder that, oh, we are talking about Vadi Bhakti, Raganuga Bhakti, where exactly is this Raganuga Bhakti? This Raganuga Bhakti comes right at the Nishtha stage. When we have crossed Shraddha, we have formed Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. Then we come to the Nishtha. As long as we are up to Anartha Nivritti, we are still Badhi Sadhaka. Once we cross that, the Nishtha stage come, and that stage Raganuga comes. And then after that, at due course of time, Bhava will come, and then after due course of time, Prem will come. So Bhava Bhakti, we talked. Prem Bhakti, we have to talk. Raganuga, we talked. We had a class on that. We have been talking about it. So Raganuga Bhakti is basically at the Nishtha stage. Okay. And then you see this another line here. In Badhi Bhakti, Archanam is very important. Archanam is very, very important. Okay. And what happens is that, so Shronam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam, Ashmarnam. What is the goal of the life? The goal of the life is that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Okay. So that's the goal. Technical way or theoretical way or whichever way, however you receive this statement. But the goal is that we always remember Krishna. Asmartavaya Satatam Vishnu. Vismartavaya na Jatasut. So that's the goal. Asmartavaya Satatam Vishnu. Satatam. All the time remember. So at Raganuga stage, Asmarnam will come. We don't have to really try hard to remember Krishna. So Archanam is basically the limbs of the bhakti, where we are trying to basically please, we are trying to serve, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Saranam Kirtanam, all of that, Vishnu, Smarnam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasham, Shakyam, Atnivedanam, all of that is basically put together in a single word, Archanam. Okay, where our basically purpose is that Archanam, we are worshipping, we are serving Supreme Personality of Godhead, and through that, Mananam, Nididhyasnam, all of that will manifest, and finally it will lead to the process of Asmarnam, where we are all the time remembering Krishna. And then there are 8 steps that mostly are being talked about Ashtanga Yoga, but in Bhagavatam, same 8 steps when Maharaj, when Mother Devhuti is being taught by Kapil Dev, he gives the explanation of each step as a bhakti. Okay, so these are also steps in bhakti. So asmarnam, basically remembering Krishna, remembrance of Krishna. Dhyana means meditating on Krishna. Okay, samadhi means complete control on our senses and fully trying to merge into the remembrance of Krishna. and then finally prema comes. So a smarnam is here, and then slowly and slowly it leads to prema. So that is a ladder. That is a very, very important concept, very important concept that we have to have in our mind to understand where we are and where we have to go, what other things is going to come in our way, and that way we can do our calibration, introspection, that at my present stage, where do I land, and what are the steps I have next to me. So this is very important slide, and I don't want to rush too much. I want to give some time to have some discussion here. Like, can somebody share what I said here? Did you understand what I was talking? Is it clear? I want to make sure that some of these things are very, by the way, as I said, please take these things very, very important. In a normal discussion, you would not be exposed just the classes, which is technically designed to help devotee learn the Shastra. When we are giving Bhagavatam class in temple, we would never get into this thing because people would, lose taste. But you as a student of the Bhakti Sastri or any other technical classes, we talk some of these things. So I want to make sure that this is clear, and we'll have some discussion. We'll see what you understand, what is lagging here. Are you seeing any contradiction or anything like that?
So Prabhu, it moves from left to right, correct? Or when you said that it's like a ladder or steps?
Yeah, so it comes from Shraddha is the first step.
Yep.
And then basically right here in this slide, it's going down. But in reality, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anarth Nivriti, Nishtha, Asakti, like that.
Okay, thank you.
But just for just for illustration, or just to depict the concept, I started from here because I wanted to, since we talked about Bhadi Bhakti, so I wanted to go from Bhadi Bhakti to Raganuga to Bhava to Prem. I just wanted to put in a way that how this second line, Bhadi, Raganuga, Bhava, and Prema correlates with the stages of Bhakti, 9 stages of the
So,
Bhakti.
so Prabhu, one question here is that, so you are aligning the stages of bhakti with the process of devotional service, like the Shraddha and Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha, Nishtha, Ruchi, they are the stages, and then the Vedi Bhakti will include the regular activities like hearing, chanting, and all those. Is that how you are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So for example, you have to go from St. Louis to Chicago.
Right.
Then this is the route. So Bhadi Bhakti will take you from Shraddha to Anarth Nivriti. And then it will take you from Anarth Nivriti to, once you get to the Nishtha, then Raganuga stage will come. And then from Raganuga will take you to the Bhava stage. Bhava will take you to the Prema stage. So
then everything afterwards, like Bhava and all of these is the same, right?
There are stages after Prema also.
After Prema, okay.
Yeah, like Srimati Radharani's stage is much higher than Prema.
Okay.
And that is for now, we're not going to talk about it.
Right.
But Prema itself is a very consolidated stage. So Prema can be unfolded also, and that unfolding will happen when we start talking about some of the confidential devotee of the Lord, such as Srimati Radharani and Asakhi. Okay, so their love for Krishna is much higher than Prema.
Okay.
But that one is not right now the theme of our discussion. Right now, we are trying to get to the prema stage. And if we can even come to the Raganuga stage in this life, we made it. So this is very advanced stage, Raganuga stage, or even
Yeah.
Bhav or Prema stage. Prema is supreme powerful stage, we want Krishna Prema.
So is Raganuga stage and the Smarnam stage?
So
They
when
lead. Yeah. So that's a question,
so when we come to Raganuga stage,
right?
then we'll have the constant remembrance of Krishna.
Also remember. Okay.
So right now, we are not remembering Krishna all the time, right? Do we remember
Right.
Krishna?
Absolutely. Mhm.
Not, right? So
Yeah.
we are very much trying to engage in Archanam.
Archanam, yes.
So that's our stage. And Archanam has all this
All the
64
limbs.
limbs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can put
Okay.
all of that together to say that
Okay.
we are in the Archanam stage.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu.
But
Thanks.
at due course of time, this Archanam will bring us the constant remembrance of Krishna.
Okay.
And if that comes, then that will be basically Raganuga Bhakti.
Right.
Yeah, thank you for asking. I want to make sure that this is clear. If
Yes.
it is not clear, please ask. This will
Thank
help you a lot. At some point, you will appreciate this. Maybe not right now. I don't know. I can't say that, but try to at least conceive this, very clearly.
This is very powerful slide.
Yeah, very nice. Prabhu, is one considered to be in Raganuga Bhakti until they are in like Nishta, Ruchi, and Asakti, all these stages, like how you have the first four in Vaidhi Bhakti, similarly the next like three, Nishta, Ruchi, and Asakti, is it considered to be Raganuga
Yeah,
Bhakti
yeah.
stage?
So what will happen is that, that's a good point. So let's look at this slide. Since Ramkujar Prabhu asked this question also. So here is what will happen. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nistha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema. Okay. So Nistha, Ruchi, and Asakti, right? All of these in these stages. So at Nistha, we get the Raganuga Bhav. And this Raganuga Bhav is basically constant remembrance of Krishna, right? So that remembrance of Krishna will give more ruchi, more taste. Now everything will become more tasty. Anything that we do, getting
there'll
up
be
in the
Smarnam.
morning.
There'll be the stage of Smarnam.
Yes. So all of that. So it's basically intense. It's intensifying. It's becoming intense. Intense. Ruchi is like, completely pure taste now. Now, even if there is anything here and there, it's like, purifying, process of purification, refinement. And Ashakti, one is fully attached, done. Then Bhava stage come. So from Asakti, Ruchi, from Nistha to Ruchi to Asakti, your Raganunga stage is being intensified. Are you clear?
Okay, it starts at Nishta, but it just increases.
Keep on intensifying. Yes. For example, Bhava. Bhava has a ray of prema, right? Like a flower bud, right? So Bhava has that all the symptoms of a flower. It's like budding flower. It has petals, it has a stem, it has everything, but it has not completely open. It's not fully matured, flower. And we saw this picture. I think I presented that one here. Are you still seeing the screen, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is the Bhava stage, and completely open flower is Prema stage. Okay. So likewise, if you go back to this slide here. So that's what exactly is happening here, Prabhu, Mananath Prabhu. From Nistha, you are basically, intensifying it. And then at bhav, it completely turns into a different stage where now we start having the taste of the prem. And then that bhav will finally take one to the prema stage, pure love for Krishna, pure love will awaken. So that's what it is.
Thank you.
This Nistha and Raganuga. So at Nistha stage, Raganuga will start and then it will intensify until it comes to the Bhava stage. And here you have Ruchi and Asakti.
Prabhuji, one question.
Yes, Mataji, please ask.
So I know I heard the Maharajas say that we always should consider ourselves to be in the Vaidhi Bhakti stage and constantly try our best to do the sadhana and everything. We may see the glimpses of a little bit of Raga and Bhakti or something, but we always should consider ourselves. But to go back to Krishna though, he's so merciful, he will take us even if we are in a Vaidhi Bhakti all our life, right, Prabhuji? We don't have to get to the bhava or prema, which we may not be able to in this lifetime.
So
but still we're able to go back, right, Prabhu?
yeah. So your question can be answered in two ways. Okay. The first way, let me try two ways I can answer. The first very technical way to answer your question is that although we cannot get to the stage of bhav or nistha or prem, still this slide should help us to know that what is my roadmap, and I have to try my best. So that's number one. Although we cannot come to nistha or bhav stage, but we have to know this roadmap and we have to honest, sincerely try. Okay, that's number one. Now, what happens? Your question is that what will happen if I cannot cross the Vaidhi Bhakti, right? And that part is basically Krishna in Gita saying that Salpam api dharmasya trayato mato bhayat. One who has done little bit bhakti, to them I give birth in a pious family, give the opportunity to do more bhakti. All of that will happen. And he says that if somebody is more advanced, in their bhakti, and they leave the body, then I give them birth in a Vaishnava family where from very childhood they will do the bhakti. But if Krishna decides, then without even doing bhakti, he can give the prema bhakti, and we'll talk once we get to the next slide, such as Jagai and Madhai. Right? So mercy will also help. So at Vaidhi Bhakti stage also, Krishna can take one back to home, back to Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. But we should not, depend on that aspect. Rather, we should try to come to prema stage. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is one verse that says that Shakala Jagata Kare Vaidhi Bhakti Karite na Paibe Prema Shakti. And that verse says that Sakala Jagata, all the living beings are engaged in doing Vaidhi Bhakti. But by Vaidhi Bhakti, one cannot get the Prema Shakti. So if you leave your Vaidhi Bhakti in a very perfected stage, your goal is Vaikuntha. And there is one slide that will come and we'll talk about that. But if you really come at least to Raganuga Bhakti, we have to make our endeavor at least come to Raganuga stage. At least we must have to come out of this anartha nivritti. Must have to, which means grave, silence, quiet, not too much. Vachu bega, mansa krodha bega, jiva udara paste bega. So much desire, this wave, that wave, all of that has to go. It has to go. Come within yourself and focus at the feet of Krishna. So that's what it is. Bhadi Bhakti technically does not grant you that you will go back to home, back to Krishna. Okay, but Krishna can take one from also Bhadi Bhakti. It's mercy. Okay, but technically, in a very progressive way, we must endeavor to come to the higher stage of the bhakti. Raganuga, Bhava, Prema, but at least Raganuga. So Mataji, did I answer your question or not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we should, the first aspect, the second aspect is there, let Krishna, Guru, and, devotees decide what is my qualification, what is my destination. I don't know what is my destination. I am sure going to leave this body. No doubt about it. All the things, everything that's given to us, everything will stay. Only I will go. Okay. So then what is my relationship with everything that's around me? Right. Anyways, the point is that we have to make endeavor, sincere endeavor. Now Krishna will decide. But if we just leave the body in Bhadi Bhakti stage, then advanced stage of the Bhadi Bhakti, then Vaikuntha planet. But if you want to go to Golok Vrindavan, in Golok Vrindavan, nobody can go who is not in pure love with Lord. Kevalya Bhakti. Pradhan Bhuta Bhakti, Guna Bhuta Bhakti, Kevalya Bhakti. We have talked about it. Pradhan Bhuta Bhakti, Guna Bhakti, and Kevalya Bhakti. So we need to have the unalloyed love. That has to happen. That's why, sometimes we have to request devotee, to a serious devotee, just focus on the goal, focus on the goal. Kevalya Bhakti is our goal, Mataji. Pure love, that's our goal. And that's all that has to come. So intensification of the Bhakti Bhakti will take us there. Intensified sadhana is needed. Chanting has to be done very nicely. And then other devotional quality we have to focus on. Okay, I wanna take some more question on this one, because I wanna give you all some time to digest this concept. That's my goal. That's why I'm trying to. Yes, please ask.
So yes, I understood what you're saying here. Through Vaidhi Bhakti, we can come out of Anartha Nivritti stage and move on to Raganuga Bhakti. And so where does liberation stand in all this picture? Is that after Anartha Nivritti, or like you said, after Anartha Nivritti, one can attain Vaikuntha, right, Prabhuji?
Yes,
So,
Mataji.
so Vaikuntha is liberation, or is after liberation, or where does liberation come in the picture here? Just was trying to.
So liberation has different meaning. Mukti hitva sararupe sarupena vyavasthitaha. Maharaj Rishabdev is talking and teaching his son, and he says, Mukti hitva sararupena sarupena vyavasthitaha. Sarapadhi vinurmuktau tat pratena nirmalam. So there are multiple, reference in the Shastra, and mukti is going back to home, back to Krishna also. That's also mukti. Mukti basically, mukti hitva sararupena vyavasthita. The literal technical meaning of the liberation, very technical meaning of the liberation is that even in this lifetime, you will be liberated. When you understand that sararupa, whatever designation I have, whatever designation I have, I'm not this, body, I'm not the female, I'm not somebody's wife, I'm not somebody's mother. My soul identity is that GRS Swarupa Nitya Krishna Das. You are liberated. So once we are out of this bodily designation, beyond this guna, okay. So the very simple or the very lowest form of liberation. Let me put it in that way. The very lowest form of liberation is coming out of the mode of material nature and thinking that I'm not this body. Okay, that's one type of liberation. The second liberation is that after leaving this body, you go and merge into Brahman. Okay, that's also for some time you are not into the cycle of repeated birth and death. Liberation is also going to Vaikuntha planet, and liberation is also going to Krishna. That's also mukti. Okay, so when we word mukti, we have to be very clear that which mukti we are talking about. Are we talking about a mukti that is just out of the mode of material nature? And literally, that's the mukti. That's right there in this body, in this life span. We will be mukta. So that's what. So again, with that definition, Mataji, are you talking about the Vaikuntha mukti, or are you talking about the mukti that we'll have after leaving this body? Or you want me to explain where all of this mukti falls on this category?
Yeah, I was trying to understand that where mukti actually falls under this, but I think mukti falls in different categories based on what you really mean. Is that
Exactly.
what it is?
You have the answer. So if you want to go back to him, back to Krishna, then your mukti is not gonna come before Raga, Nuga, Bhava, or Prema. Okay. Also, no, let's. I don't want to go back, but I just want to explain you that Raga, Nuga, Bhakti at the Bhava stage we can come through Raga, Nuga, Badhi Bhakti, right? Or we can come through Raga stage. Okay. So if you come to the Bhava stage through Badhi Bhakti, then that would not take you to Krishna, Golok Vrindavan. But if you come to Bhava stage through Raga Nuga ways, then that will take you back to Krishna. Okay. So there is, and these things we need to understand. It's very important, that we little bit digest these things very thoroughly, systematically, so that our concept on these things are clear.
So, Prabhu, can you put that slide back on? I have a question.
Okay.
The
Yes,
last slide.
Prabhuji. Yeah, I just wanted to show here this slide.
Okay.
So, Prabhu, see the by Badhi sadhana and by Raga Nuga sadhana. You saw, Mataji?
Yes.
So, Bhava stage can come by Badhi sadhana also, or by Raga Nuga sadhana also. Okay. But if you come to Bhava stage through Badhi sadhana, then your destination is going to be Vaikuntha. But if you come to the Bhava stage by Raga Nuga way, then your stage is going to be Golok
Golok.
Vrindavan. Golok Vrindavan only on Alwad devotion, pure love. That's all. So the purpose of everything else is to bring us to that stage where we have ahituki bhakti, ahituki pratihata, yayatmas prasiddhati. That term.
So, Prabhu, one more question here.
Yeah.
So, so does it mean that we can? I'm talking not based on experience or anything, but just looking at the slide and just what we learned today. So when one attain, I know prema is hard to attain, but supposedly when one attain prema, will that be in the body when they have the body, or only when they leave the body?
No, in the body. Sad
When,
is, yeah, Sadh, Swarupa or Siddha Swarupa. We talked about that in Bhakti Samrita Sindhu. So, our body is right now basically Sadhka body. It's not fully Siddha. It's not perfected. But once we come to the higher stage, then we become, Siddha body, Siddh, completely purified. So it's not like that prema is something that devotee do not attain. Prabhupada had prema.
Okay, so I got it, Prabhu, now. So we attain prema even one can attain prema even in this lifetime. And
Yes,
when one has it,
Mataji.
they leave
Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Gaur Krishna Das Baba Maharaj, all of these devotees, they were completely in condensed love in prema stage. Yes, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada was in the prema stage. So their symptoms, their character, their behavior will be on a different planet. Although they will be walking on this planet, but you know how much Prabhupada did in one person. Can you think that one person can do like that? Prabhupada says, in Bhagavatam, that all of endeavor that I have done to make one pure devotee. So all of that is reality. Prema, you can come to the stage of prema bhakti in this lifespan, and that will be your Siddha Rupa, not the Sadhya Rupa, not the Sadhaka Rupa. So this body is right now Sadhaka body, not Siddha body. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, the question is that in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1866, the complete surrender, which Lord Krishna is asking, where does that fit here? Because what I understand is he wants the devotee to forgo all religious principles and just surrender unto him.
Yeah.
And where would this fit in this slide?
A very good question. Can somebody try to understand where that will fall into this? What exactly is the surrender, and where it's going to fall into these stages? Can we take that question and discuss? A very good point. Where we are surrender?
Is it Raganuga? I don't know.
I don't know. I can
The
say that
surrender
it's
can
prema.
come any stage, right, Prabhu?
It's prema, Prabhuji. Like full surrender is prema.
I thought surrender can come at any stage. I could be wrong.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think surrender can come for asakti, like we surrender, like with our attachment increases, then the love, then prema. Like it can start from asakti, then the full surrender can, like as Mataji said, prema.
The reason I'm asking this question is because all the gopis and the gopas, and they were all surrendered souls. They did not go through the process of like stages of bhakti and processes of bhakti and everything. I think this is and Lal Prabhuji has given lecture almost for a month now on that. And my understanding is that you don't have to really go through any processes of bhakti. If you surrender fully, then you don't have to go through the whole
But how the surrender will come? The full surrender means basically no contamination.
Yes.
Right. So we cannot elevate in process of bhakti as long as we are contaminated. So this surrender has to come before. So all the answer that devotee gave, it's basically who said that it has to come before. Yes, it has to come before. It has to come before. But
surrender has to come.
Yes.
Okay.
So he will act. Here is the thing. This nistha and bhava and prema, this would never arise unless and until you are surrender. Surrender is prerequisite. Anyavilasita sunyam gyan karmadya navritam anukulenu krishnanu, savai pumsam paro dharma yado bhakti yado kaja ahitukya pratiyataya atma suprasiddhati yasya maisurya mana nam krishna param purushe Bhakti utpadate pumsa shoko moho bhayapah dharma swanutistata. What is that verse? Sarme vahi kevalam na utpadati yadiratim sarme vahi kevalam. So surrender has to happen. All of us, are we surrender? Yes, not fully. Not fully.
So-
And the process of Bhadi Bhakti will basically bring us to full surrender. So why we have, yes, Prabhu, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
so
it's good.
it feels like to me this is to have shraddha or faith, you actually have to surrender a little bit.
Little bit, yes.
Yeah.
All of this, 100%. All of these stages, is basically degree of surrender, some degree of surrender. Otherwise, how you will be going to temple? Why you are doing the way you are doing? Your surrender is not purified completely. So there is gross anarthas, there is subtle anarthas, right? So subtle, all of us don't have gross anartha. We have subtle anartha. Gross anartha is basically meat eating, illicit sex, and all of that. But what we have subtle, anartha. And we have talked about that in Ishopanishad, 4 types of subtle anarthas. So that subtle anartha says that we have surrender, but our surrender has not purified. We have still, aparadh propensity. We still have hirdaya darbalyam. The heart is weak. And why heart is weak? The heart is weak because we are not fully surrendered to Krishna. Okay, so this propensity of doing the offenses because we don't have fully surrendered. I think that deity of Krishna Balaram is just a deity. He's doing nothing. Let me do something. That's not fully surrender. So complete surrender is basically purification of your consciousness. And that would happen in Bhakti Bhakti. Bhakti Bhakti will completely Chatudapna Marjanam, will rob you, make you shiny, and hand you over to Nistha. At Nistha stage, you are 100% surrender. That's Nistha. That's what Nistha is. Nistha, what is, I mean, all of you know Hindi, right? In Sanskrit. Nistha means determination.
Steadiness.
Yeah?
Steadiness.
Yes. Steadiness, yes. So at that stage now, full surrender. And that surrender has to intensify now. Okay, so surrender has to come before. Surrender is basically your vehicle. You are driving, sitting on the vehicle of your surrender. Now, how slow that vehicle is moving and how fast that vehicle is moving, you know. You know how, but nothing is moving without having surrender. All of us have surrender. But we still have some faith in something, some faith in something, some faith in something, some faith, in ourselves. So that's what it is, Prabhu. Does it help understand?
Yeah, it's really helpful. Yeah, because you want to really get all of that what we have learned into one kind of
Yes,
we see.
very important point. Yes, that's harmonization. Yes, so we study Bhagavad Gita, we study Bhagavatam, we have so much information at so many places, but we have to make a pyramid. We have to, put it in a way that we can implement in our day-to-day life. There is more to it, but I try to basically, since we are wrapping up, I try to at least give you some flow that yes, everything will basically converge. It has to converge and come towards Krishna. It has to be pinpointed. So yes, what you said is right. It has to, start making sense for us. It's 1:35. I'm still open if you have any questions. If not, then we can adjourn. Or if anybody would like to.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
I just have
Mataji.
a question. It
Yes,
might be
Mataji,
a
please,
little
please.
silly.
No, Mataji, please ask. No question is silly. This is your
So,
humility.
Prabhuji, like from 9 stages of bhakti, it says in the beginning we should have Shraddha, right? Then after that, sadhu sangha and rest goes on.
Bhajan Kriya,
So
right?
sometimes sometimes it also happens like after taking sadhu sangha and like performing some devotional practice like Shravanam, Kirtanam, then we get faith, right? Or am I wrong? Like I might be wrong also. Like I'm just sharing a thought. So is that like after having sadhu sangha, sometimes the faith also starts?
Yeah, so it's both ways.
Yes.
Both way. We basically in the very beginning of Nectar of Devotion study, we had a section after Samanya Bhakti where we talked what is the cause of Bhakti, right? Why we all here are doing Bhakti? Why not the whole St. Louis is on this class? Or why not the whole St. Louis is Krishna conscious? And the answer for that was that Bhakti itself is the cause of Bhakti. And that comes by accidentally having association of a sadhu, or by having accidentally, getting into a Krishna temple, doing some service willingly and unwillingly. Okay. And that basically gives a pious credit that makes us a candidate for taking up the bhakti. Now, so we have people out there, okay, they can become bhakti in two ways. The one way, somebody, a pure devotee, will go and give them bhakti, pray for them, give them their association, and make them devotee. Like Prabhupada came
That's
and made,
Agnata Sukriti, right, Prabhu?
yeah, Agyat Sukriti. Yes, they will come and give the bhakti. The second one is that you have some shraddha, but shraddha is not very condensed. Okay, so what will happen, Mataji? Are we a pure devotee? No. But do we have shraddha? Yes. Do we have a full shraddha? No. So what will happen, Mataji? That little bit of shraddha will bring you to the association of a devotee where you can hear and Sravanam, Kirtanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, all of that will happen. And then that slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly give you more shraddha, more faith. Okay, so it's kind of, both ways. Both way. We come with some shraddha. What you said is right. You did not say anything wrong. You said right. Prabhu, does it come after or is it come before? There is little bit in the before, but it also keep on coming after too. Okay, Mataji. So that's how it works.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
we are. Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I just remembered like one of that pastime, like how one of the thief, he tried to hide himself, like to save himself from the cops. He went into there was a kirtan going on. So in one of the Maharaj's lecture I was listening, so he just gave one of his like, and that person slowly he started staying in the temple to keep himself away from the cops and everything. But slowly he became like, he didn't do it like because he had shraddha. So and slowly he became like a devotee, and he became brahmachari, and he started serving full time and everything. So
Yes.
and that's what I just remember. Like he even surrendered to the cops, and due to his good behavior and everything, he again came back to the temple, and he started serving full time.
Yeah.
I just
Yes.
remembered that thing. So that's why, like, he didn't enter. He just wanted to save himself. That's why he just entered into that. Kirtan was going on, so he just entered into that group, and he just moved away with that group. So that's what I just remember. So just wanted to clarify. Thank you, Prabhuji.
No, 100% correct. Nama Sudharasa, Nama Sudharasa, Gau Krishna Jasa, Rakha Bachana Manamora. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that this Nam is Sudharas. Sudha is nectar, nectarian. Nama Sudharas, Gau Krishna Jas. Through his holy name, you always glorify Krishna Yasha. Yes, glorification of Krishna. Rakha Bachana Manamora. Oh my mind, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, oh my mind. He's not saying us, he's saying that, oh my mind. Please remember that this holy name is the nectar, and we should glorify Krishna using his holy name. So yes, by accident, we were talking this morning, devotees who are eating prasadam cooked by you chant, you hear name of Krishna, you are a devotee, all of them are getting sukriti. And it's just a matter of time. You have already shown the seed of devotion. And slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, uh, they will become devotee. So
So,
Shraddha, Mataji, we have some Shraddha, but then it again develop. Somebody else is asking something?
No, I was just trying to think a little more on the same example that Mataji has just put here. So I was thinking, even the guy, the thief who entered into the temple, probably he did some pious activity in his previous life, so he was
Yes.
even entering the temple.
Yeah. Yeah. 100% sure.
Yeah, that's why Mataji is always said like this account, the account of bhakti, we never have to start it from again ABC.
Yeah.
We started generally from where we missed it or we left it.
Yeah.
Right.
There are many examples, like one of examples Maharaj gave about one of the devotee who like left the body in a car accident, but he like in the next birth or something, he was born as a girl in a devotee family. So, and she started like she, whenever she goes to a temple, she like, I know this place, I remember this place, I used to come here. So yeah, that's what there are so many examples we can like see, like wherever you like you have stopped, you start from there. You don't have to start from initial stage again.
Right, right.
No.
We also have a dog example, right? The dog went to the temple and stayed with the devotees.
Mhm. Good examples. Yes, bhakti is very powerful. And no
Prabhu, I have.
qualification needed. Yes, Mataji, please. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, on the other side, Prabhu, like the fall down, like where it happens, Prabhu. I know from Shraddha to Anartha Nivritti, like they are up and downs. But can we say that when one comes into Nishta stage, like he's completely surrendered and there is no fall down, Prabhu? Or can we see fall down even in Raganuga, Bhava, and Prema stages?
Yeah,
Prabhu?
fall down can happen at any stage except prema.
So, what will be the destination, Prabhu? Like, what
They
will
will,
happen?
I will like Maharaj Bharat is a perfect example. He, he was in the bhava stage, and then he got affectionated with a deer. Then he had to take the deer birth. Then he became Jar Bharat, and then finally he became, pure devotee. He was a pure devotee, and then he went back to Krishna. So even from bhava stage, bhava avas, or by committing offense, we saw right that by doing the offense against devotee or having association of a mayavadi, who are basically uh, offender of Krishna. Some of those things, if we do, then even from bhava stage, we can fall down. And then Krishna will give us opportunity to come to him. Good point, Mataji. Are we good now? Or anybody has anything else?
Prabhu, this Archanam Smaranam, this is not the 9 stages of, 9 practices.
No,
devotional
this
service,
is
right?
just the application part.
Okay.
Like
Is,
Sravanam,
is there a,
Kirtanam, Mananam, Nidhi, Dhyasnam, Asmaranam that we say. So this is basically how to understand what is this Bhakti Bhakti. Okay. In Bhakti Bhakti, we are worshipping in one sense, right? We are engaged in devotional service. And then at Raganuga stage, we'll have constant remembrance of Krishna. So this is a stage of advancement for sure, but it's not like these 9 stages.
okay?
That's what you were asking.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
I just have a comment, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Just hearing the class, it's so much purifying. Hearing all the stages and
I don't know. I can't hear you, Mataji. Can another hear me?
hearing what you're doing is so much purifying.
Yeah, did we lose you?
It's like Prabhu is frozen.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh.
hear everything that Mataji said.
No, I was just saying that hearing the class itself is so much purifying, and hearing all the things that you have mentioned today, it's very purifactory.
Yes, Mataji, it's all, it's nothing that I always try to obey the Shastra, all I do is that, try to put things together to make, more sense. So all of that is basically given by His Divine Grace Prabhupada. And also I study some other books like Manasiksha or Bhakti Alok and all of those. So I bring a lot of information from other books where Bhakti Vinod Thakur and other acharyas have given the sense of how these things flow. So some of the things that we are talking basically coming from Manasiksha by Raghunath Das Goswami. But I don't want to basically tell you from where it's coming, but I just wanted to give you what's given there. That's why these courses are very powerful, because we talk things very systematic. That helps me a lot, I was very confused. I wanted to basically understand where I am, where I have to go, and what are the steps. These things we need to know, right, Mataji? Do you agree or
Yes.
not? Without
Yes.
knowing these things, we'll be hose-posed, right?
Yes. Yes.
We'll be doing too much service, but you would not know what's the purpose of me serving, what's the mood I have to. Krishna definitely will help. Krishna definitely is there. But these things will expedite, help us understand the right mood, retain the good quality. Awesome. Thank you so much for your participation, Matajis and Prabhujis. I really appreciate.
Thank you very much,
Hari
Prabhuji.
Hari. And if you all are okay, then we can adjourn today. And we'll talk next Saturday. Really appreciate. Very nice discussion. Thank
Wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you.
you. Thank you, Prabhujis. Vanchkalpa Tarubhesha
Shubhischa,
Kripa Sindhu Vesha
Sindhuyevacha,
Paritanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo,
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Symbol
Namaha.
Bhakti Vindi. Thank you. Dandot Pranam. Hare Krishna. Hare Bo.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Dandavad Pranam, Prabhu.
Prabhu,
Thank you.
send last week's
Dandavat
class, Prabhu.
pranams.
Send last week's class video, audio.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
That
Prabhu.
recording thing, Prabhu.
I'll do it, bro. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.